Hi, welcome to the Coloring Oasis. I am here today to do a box opening, so to speak, or package unwrapping and test of my brand new Bruynzeel 72 set Fineliner brush pens, including the 24 set I also purchased that I already tried out prior to this video. So I kind of knew where we were going with the video. So Bruynzeel is a company in Holland. They started their, well, Bruynzeel is not so much a company. The company is Royal Talens. Bruynzeel is sort of the name under Royal Talens. And Royal Talens started actually in 1899 by a man named Martin Talens, who started like opened a local paint shop, and it has kind of a funky name. I can't remember what it was, but it's, you know, something about the shop of paints, pigments, and something else. And so that's how long Royal Talents has been going, and they've been doing paints and art supplies. I think they did some Rembrandt paints and things like that all the way up to World War II, and when they were kind of bombed and they had to rebuild the company, and then they went forward, and at some point well down the road they purchased Sakura. And if you've ever heard of the Jelly Roll pen, Sakura is owned by Royal Talens, but Bruynzeel is one of their product, you know, brands under Royal Talens. And they have a few others as well, some that I've never heard of, that I'm not familiar with, that are more for like actually acrylic painters and things like that. So I purchased this Bruynzeel set of 24 color fineliner brush pens from HSN, where I just saw them for the first time, because I do buy a lot of stuff on HSN. I have an HSN credit card, and then I got them, and I'm like, you know, as always, like, I'm disappointed when I knew there were 24 colors, but I'm so used to having like large sets of all the stuff I love, and I'm like, oh, there's hardly any colors, let me go see if there was a bigger set, you know. So I went and I researched, and I went to Amazon, where I should have gone originally, and I found the 72 set. And then I did more research, and I which I should have done originally, and I had not, for these Bruynzeel fineliner brush pens, they have, this is the biggest set, is the 72, and it comes in this beautiful tin. So I had opened this box. I'm going to probably keep these more for, like, this just has a few limited colors, more for travel or whatever, or for backups for when my big ones fail. This is fairly inexpensive. But I have not opened the big tin yet, which just came, and I was just experimenting with these. And these are water-based fineliner brush pens. I believe they're 4mm tips. And I did a video earlier on, I don't remember if I posted it yet or not. I was doing that yesterday, of my Stabilo German pens, my brand new set, and talking about how I've been using them for 5 years, and using water on them for the very first time, even though I normally use them for coloring. And so we're going to do a little experiment in my Golden Girls book with these, which I also did with my Stabilo pens yesterday, which were water-based, using my new Artisan water pen. And I did already get started on this Bruynzeel. So these Bruynzeels they're really nice pens. They have the soft tip, very soft brush tip. They do have a fine tip for your mandalas, and I don't know if you can see that, but things like that, really tiny. And I don't generally use these. You can do straight dry coloring with these. It's going to matter a great deal the kind of paper you have, and we will play around with that a little. On this paper, this is, so I think I printed this on my Bristol 400 colored pencil paper by accident. I just realized I meant to print it on my Nina paper. Oh well. So this is a picture that I was also working on a little bit, showing my Stabilo pens, which is what I outlined here. But the inside I just tested are the Bruynzeels. And so this is a picture by Jeremiah Kittner, and it's a printable from Etsy of his, I think, spring 2022 blooms, and there's 10 beautiful pictures. I really like them. I'm going to do all of these in natural rainbow colors. So it's just testing on here. If you can see, I colored in just the pink on the inside with the pen. And then I use my water brush pen to, you know, make it more watercolory, which is so cool. And I brought some of the color down from the Stabilo outline into it, which is where you see the darker here, which I had not expected. And these did hold up better with water on the paper than my Stabilos did. This isn't really meant for water-based paper, but so I'm going to show you this in action and do a different color or two, and we're going to open this other set as well. So this 24 set just has some basic primaries, blacks, grays, brown, and the 2 pinks, well, the 3 pinks that I was using. So this is the, and how much I paid for this, I don't remember. It was probably in the $80, it might have been $80 to $100 range. I don't remember. I don't remember if this was the one that was on the flash sale or that was the Stabilos. I don't remember. So here's the tin. There's the back of it. We are going to open this out of the cellophane. Okay. Really pretty tin. Mine has a little dent, which is a bummer. Pretty tin. And it shows you all the colors here. Oh, mine's dented. I wonder if that happened in shipping. That's okay, because not sure if I'll keep the tin. I don't know, I like the tin. I you know, it's too bad. Like, I like to keep my pencils and pens in their tins they come in, except it's such a pain when you go to take the ones out you want. So sometimes I give up and I just move to a pencil case, especially the ones that have the really flimsy trays and lots of layers of trays. So the lid goes open back way, so it does stay attached. And so here is the first layer. Oh, they're really pretty. These are actually totally different pinks than what I have in the small set. But that one might be the same. This one, different. Might be that one. So we have reds, watermelon, hot pinks, baby pinks, some kind of skin tonies here, some magentas, cinnamon colors, oranges, neons, neon, yellows, beautiful pearl white, a beautiful gold. Let's see how easy, oh, see how easy this is to get out, or not easy. Okay, they're chubby pens. Oh, and it's, I'm afraid, here we go. Oh my God, they stay in the tin. That's hilarious. Why don't all the pencils do that? That's great. So yeah, I'll probably keep these in the tin. Look, they just stay. Just standing on up. I'm just gonna stand there. Woo. All right, that's gonna press my luck, right? Let's move this. Oh, look at these colors. I'm so glad I bought this. I don't know about you, but I am the kind of person that just is not happy with the small sets. If I know I'm gonna like something or use it, I want the maximum choice of colors, because I like to use a lot of the same mediums for off and on for years, and I want to get to really know the pens and pencils that I have and like, and I want a full variety. But look at this, kind of these peachies, more like magentas, berry colors, grapes, purples, lavenders, all these beautiful blues, turquoises. Oh, it's so pretty. Now this makes me way happy. I think you guys are gonna like these pens. Look at this. We have blacks, different grays, dark gray, light gray, medium gray, all kinds of earth browns, tans, neutrals, olives. Is this another black? I'm not sure. Are the pens? They do say, oh, it says brush, Holland, Bruynzeel. Is there a number? I have terrible eyesight. I don't believe it's numbered. Okay, so that's okay. You just have to go by sight. So far in my experience, the ones I've tried have matched the barrel color almost identically. Is this the last one? Yes, it is. And I'm also one of those people that's like, why don't you make more colors? Even if you have 70, I want 120, I want 200. It's just, when you find something you like, you want more of it. So I have here in my Golden Girls book that I just showed you in this Walmart haul video I did, which is an awesome book. I started this picture here with the perfume bottle. This is like kind of a 1980s cool retro stuff. And I started one of these palm leaves here with my Stabilo pens from the new set I did the videos on. Did not apply water. And we're going to actually do a few palm leaves with some greens from the Bruynzeel set. The Bruynzeel. I've actually been to Holland. Netherlands. All through there. In fact, we went on a cruise to Europe and visited 7 different countries. It was a 27-day cruise. Did I say cruise? No, sorry, that was Alaska. It was not a cruise. It was a tour, a European tour by a company called Inside or Insight or Inside. I don't know. It was right at the turn of the millennium. And 7 or 8 different countries, every European country basically. And I went with my 9-year-old son, just the two of us, with this fun group of Australians, older Australians. It was a great trip. And we did go through Holland, and because it was just past the Y2K or whatever, it had just turned 2000, when we went right after that, probably a few weeks after that in January or something like that, we went, I do remember when we went to Amsterdam, that the whole city was like littered. There was garbage like all over the city because of all the celebrations that had happened for the turn of the century or whatever, or the turn of the from 1989 to 2000, right? And it had been taking them like weeks to clean it up. And anyway, part of our tour included, and my son was the only kid in the whole group, included a nighttime tour of the red light district. And at the time I really was like, I was young, I was a young mom. I was like, oh, what is that? Sounds intriguing. So like, here we are with all these Australians in their 70s, and we're like 30 of them. We're walking up and down the red light district at 10 o'clock at night, and I have my 9-year-old with me, and it really is like window shopping instead of for new hats and cocktail dresses. You're looking at people without the hats and cocktail dresses in the window. So that was really fun. So that was my whole experience with Amsterdam. Oh, we went to a diamond factory. That was cool. Yeah, nothing I could afford in that place. I don't know why I'm talking about that. So, anyway, I'm a rambler. Oh, this is a beautiful green. We should try, on the palm leaves. Is this the only green again? Now, I'm not seeing tons of greens, and I love my earth tones. But again, you have 72 colors, and they do give you way more blues than greens, and purples, it looks like. I don't know. That's okay. So for greens, we're going to have to do, I don't know how well these blend, but we can try a little bit of blending. And let's try, these two look almost identical, but I'm sure they're not, I would imagine. Let's just take out a few different greens, and we're going to do the water. We're going to color and then do the water pen, and not talk about Amsterdam anymore. All right. Well, actually, the first thing I'm going to do is go back over to the Jeremiah picture, and I'm going to do another one of these flowers. I'm going to show you what I did. Okay. So, these pens do roll on your desk. Beware. I'm going to use this one because I don't like my border on a flower, if they're like straight line flowers, to be the same as the color on the inside. I'm going to color, oh, is that the same pink as that? Oh no, okay, I want a different pink, but that's okay. I'm going to do this. If you're gonna do the water pen or a water brush, you don't need to worry a whole ton, and I'm only gonna do 2 sections at a time because I want it to still be kind of, damp when I'm going to use my water pen. And these pens are really cool. Not sure if you've seen them. You just twist off, fill the barrel with water, and squeeze, and water comes out the side. You don't need a paintbrush. You can buy, I bought this in a 12-pack. So I'm just gonna You want to be careful not to get your tip too close to the other color or the edge, because if you use too much water, or not to use too much water, because it will kind of drip, or I say bleed, but so we're kind of just giving it that watercolory effect. You could stretch the color out, but I'm going to apply more color. Now you know, you don't need the water. You can just purely color with it. These are soft pens, and you know, they can leave streaks, and the paper you use depends a lot, or the paper of the coloring book. So these kind of pens, if you're just doing dry coloring, are better for small areas. This might almost be too big than what I would use if I'm doing it straight dry. I might use it for something small, like each little bulb on that kind of a thing. So we're gonna go back in with our water. Now I did, look, I'm gonna put the water over this Stabilo purple outline I did a long time ago. See if I can bring in some of that purple. Now it's been dry for hours since I did that, but look, it's still bringing some of that purple, and you can give it more of a watercolory effect. And that's a different pen, which is also a water-based pen and a felt pen at that. Now, you don't want to go too close to the edge with the water. It's going to go into your rainbow. And it could happen anyway, but then you can cover that rainbow up with dark colors. Now, I didn't put any color here, but I'm going to just try to pull this color down, and it'll just look more like pastel and translucent. If you see how this, so that still looks pretty. It looks a little softer, not as dark. You can pull some of this color over. Now, if this purple, oh, see, I just got some over the edge. If this purple border had been, the ink had just been applied and I pulled it in, you would be seeing purple all over the place. Now, you don't have to bring that color in if you wanted just the pink. So now I have like a little bit of a swirl going on. And of course, you have to let that dry. And, you know, it takes a while to learn how to use this water pen. You know, you want to be able to touch, like right now it's got a drip. You want to be able to touch the back of your hand. If it barely feels wet, you need to squeeze a little. Then you know, shake it out on a test page to get any droplets off, so it feels wet, but not like dripping or not like overly soaked. You don't want any loose water coming off it when you shake it. That's about how you want it. And there's a little hair stuck on there. Darn it, that got in there. Oh well. So up close, you can see that one was on the edge, but you see it's wet, but it gave it a nice soft look. We certainly did not have to do that, but now this one I did hours ago. So when I run my hand over it, and again, this is colored pencil paper. It's not really meant for wet mediums, so probably don't want to use this paper. But even on this paper, it's pretty smooth. It didn't warp the paper very much. It did not bleed through on this Bristol paper. We're going to see what happens in the Golden Girls book. And unlike my Stabilo felt water-based pens I was doing in my last video, that one really warped some of the pages. When I did that in a mandala coloring book, that was very thin paper, but it did bleed through. But which, you know, it's fine. You know, you don't always care what's on the other side, depending on what you're doing. So we are going to do a test in here. I just broke the spine in the last video, and it's a little bulgy because this picture is right in the center, which is a bit of an annoyance. I'll try to, I haven't figured out how to zoom in on this yet, but so I'm going to, I'm gonna have to start a different palm leaf because I want to be consistent in my colors. I'm going to try this more olivey one, these unnamed, unnumbered pens. I don't think I see a number. I have glasses on, I still can't see it. Well, first I'm going to show you a dry color on it. So let's do it down here. And these are nice skinny areas. And so you can probably do this completely dry if you're an adult colorist and you don't want to do the water thing and you're new at it. You know, I've been using water pens since I've been doing adult coloring since 2017, and I never even really I didn't even conceptualize for the first couple of years that means you could blend it with water. I just figured, oh, that's what it's made of, right? Like, I was a little slow. So that looks really pretty. I'm going to do, I'm going to do another one. Shoot, I wonder if I should do every other one if I'm going to test with the brown, the blend. Let's just do one more. And you can just kind of pull it along. It's really soft, very light touch. Just pull, pull. Don't just scribble back and forth. Just gentle touch and then glide it. So I'm not really seeing any streaks or smears. So this is all you really need to do to color. I think that looks great. Let's check the other side. Look at that. Did not bleed through. Oh, I love this page. Have you guys seen my whole flip through this book? It's such a fun 80s book. Doesn't bleed through. The Stabilo pens, which I did earlier today, or yesterday, I think it was, did. See that dark leaf right there? So I would not probably use the Stabilos in something that is double-sided. Okay, so, and you can see up close how pretty that is. I mean, you can do it another layer. That's just one light layer. So we can, now I'm going to, I'm going to go over here where I already did that one brown. I'm going to put down some brown and try to blend it. This was the Stabilo, so I'm going to do this next to it. I'm going to see what happens when I blend. Here's a brown. Just do it at the base. I'm going to bring in that same green I did for the lower one. Just kind of go back over it a little and see about the blending. Yeah, not loving the dry blend on it a whole lot, but let's see what happens. These pens are so richly pigmented and moist, you don't have to barely even try. And I can keep trying to pull this up. I'm going to also do one with water, you'll see. So we're just doing dry blending now. Okay, so this isn't bad. You just keep pulling the dark over several layers back over the one you did, and it's not tearing the paper. Stabilo pens can, because of the felt, if you're not careful, if you don't know how to use them. This one is not. I love these. I actually first saw these on a Crafter's Companion video. That looks really nice. Look, so can you see that? Oh, sorry, that was the old one. Oh, I'm not laying on the camera. So can you see, this is the one we did. I did brown at the base and I did the green over, and that looks nice. All right, so we can now try, let's do one with water. I want them to be consistent. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do that same green again. And then we're going to do the water brush. It's tricky on things that are this narrow. I don't like to do the water pens because if it bleeds over the edge, it kind of is out of the lines. So you have to have very light amount of water on your pen, which I do. It has some pink on there, so I need to get that off. Just squeeze some water, dab it out. Let's just do it very light. That's not enough on there. Now, this is the Art of Coloring paper. I don't know how well it holds up to water, but this is lightening what I did. It's lightening it. Not as in grease lightning, but like lightening the color, not making it lighter. Okay, it's fading it a lot, like a watercolor. And it kind of stayed in the line, so if you give it a second, it could start to spread. I can tell you also that these are not spreading, aka bleeding, as much as the Stabilo pens. Now, I love my Stabilo pens too, but those are more for very small, narrow areas, and you don't need to use the water on those. It is a little, you can see it right there, but this is all going to be green, so I think that's okay. Let's do a brown and green and blend that, just like we did the dry one on this side. And if you're unsure of how you'll like something like this, if you're interested in just like, if you're interested in it for the water blending aspect, start with a small set. The 24 set was fairly inexpensive. I think it was in the 20 range. I don't recall if they had a smaller set, like a 12 or a 10 or an 18. I don't usually ever look for sets that small, so I don't really know, and I didn't intentionally look it up to tell you guys. So I don't need to go over as many times because I'm going to do the water as when I did the dry. So now I'm just going to water it and see if I can pull this brown down and back. It's so scary to do so much water on here because of the bleeding, but we'll see. I don't want it to be all like smeared all into the next leaf. It's dramatically lightening that brown, bringing it down. My pen is a little too wet. Yeah, it really lightened it. Wow. And it does blend beautifully with water particularly, but even in general, I'm just going to let that sit a minute and then we're going to compare. Yeah, oh, yep. Okay, so with the water it bled through. So these do not bleed through dry. They do bleed through with the water, which is fine because there's several pages with these purses in it. This is The Art of Coloring. They do a lot of Disney books too. So if you dry color, they won't bleed, but the water does now, and the water brings the tint through. In fact, I just realized I need to have a border page. Protect her. Okay, so just beware. You might want to use your one-sided pages if you're doing the water. But let's look closer at this. You see how it lightened it. I don't know if that's screwing up my flash or not. So yeah, I really like these pens. I also have, do I have another picture? Let's go back to the rainbow. Oh, I could do the butterfly. I want to go back to Jeremiah's. And I'm going to get out, do I have any more purples in this one? Yes, I do. I'm going to get out a purple. Oh, that's blue. Blue. Purple. I have a few ideas here. I'm going to try this with a wet purple. See, I mean, look how just pretty. This is almost like, has like some blue in it, like some of that cerulean in it. And I mean, brush pens are a little harder to stay in the lines because they're so soft and wiggly, like the tips. So you have to almost kind of like do it more like a paintbrush, right? Like a stroke. I'm going to do water on this and see if I can bring the purple straight to the middle with no color inside and see what happens there. I generally don't like to experiment on pages that I actually want to do, but I wanted to do this page and I liked the narrow areas, and it was risky for me because if it wrecks it and then you're like, darn, you have to go print another one. That's why I like Etsy printables, because if you wreck it, you can print another one. Now, ideally, if you're going to experiment, do that right off the bat before you do a lot of parts of the picture that you actually like, because then you're really going to be disappointed. So I got this really wet. I'm just going to see if I can bring some of this purple down without going over the flower. Like Puron watercolory. Yeah, it's making it like a real soft lavender. And it's lightening the purple I did put down on the edge because it's taking out some of the pigment, right? And kind of sharing the wealth of brilliant color with the area around it. So it is lightening it. I don't want to go very heavy with water here because I don't want to go into my rainbow. And that's the hardest part, is keeping these from seeping over the edges. These ones don't seem to do that nearly as much as some of the others. Well, look how easy this is. You don't have to worry about paintbrushes and a cup of water and having actual painting supplies. You just get these Arteza pens. They're so cool. I got the 12 pack because I couldn't find a smaller pack that was not out of stock, but that's fine because, you know, you can use them forever. That looks really nice. That looks like a very gentle pastel. I really like it. I could have put a color in there and it would be more solid, but this is like if you want that pastel, gentle look. We should do that again with another one. Let's do that with, in this set I have, there's no more pinks, but there was in the big one. So let's get the big one. If you're still with me, I have, let's see what we have. Let's do, ooh, this is pretty. Let's do, this might be kind of light though. Let's do, choices. Let's do a dark, I don't know. They get so light after. Let's do this one. Actually, let's do this. Let's do these two. I want to balance out my purple, some on this side, some on that side. I don't want all my purple together. I'm going to do the edge here with this pretty periwinkle color. And I don't care if it goes into the flower a little because we're going to put some of that other color in there and do the water. I'm going to be honest, only yesterday when I did my box opening and tutorials of my Stabilo pens and then tested it with that water pencil, it was the first time I did water, used water on markers for my coloring. And so I am new at this, and it is, you can see it's really not hard. I am kind of old-fashioned with my coloring, but I've been trying to like branch out, you know, like I've really been wanting to amp my game after almost 6 years of, you know, classes and doing tutorials and, you know, 100 pages, who knows, maybe more, I don't know. You know, you want variety, you want to learn new mediums. That's why I finally got rid of all my older, cheaper, crummier art supplies and upgraded to a ton of new ones. And I still have a ton in my Amazon wish list that I would really like so I could test and share with others. So these purples were very close, but we'll just see. We're going to try to bring them, you know, blend them in together with my water pen. And this is almost still like coloring almost, right? Because it's still a pen. It just has water in the barrel. Do I have enough water in there? This one doesn't sound like it's blending. Well, so the reason it's not as noticeable here is because my outside color is so similar to the inside. So your inside color is going to pop out more if you have contrast. So you want a darker border on things of, you know, the same shade, different tone, or a coordinating color, you know, pink, purple. So it kind of looks like it's all one color, even though these were two different colors. And plus, not to mention, we are bringing it all together. So that was kind of unremarkable, but still pretty. Another soft looking pastel. I think that looks lovely bones. Let's try something else. Let's try, what should we do next? How about we try, oh, I want to put on the wet flower. Super dark. Let's do a super dark and one that's a contrasting one I haven't done yet. Let's do this one. All right, so let's go way up yonder. I'm going to do dark with this pink on the inside. And the thing I don't love about Jeremiah Kintner's work that bums me out is all of his pictures cut off. I had a couple I really liked, and even when you print the file, even on the picture on the screen, they abruptly end. Like the flower isn't fully on the page, or the rainbow, or whatever. Like I have a lot of pictures in this blooms collection where the flowers are like cut right in half. Like he doesn't complete the picture to go to the edge, so you can see the whole thing, and that bugs me. You see it's doing that to all of them, and that's not my printer because it looks like that on the thing. So I really would like if he could fix that. I think it's a he, right? Jeremiah. I really am bad about names and genders and stuff. Like I just, you know, there's so many unisex names these days. That's really pretty color. I like that a lot. And this is this kind of purplish blue, royal blue. And I want to do, oh, that's a really light baby pink here. And normally if you're dry coloring, you don't want to do big streaks like this because it's going to leave the streaks. You're only doing that because you're using the water. If you're dry coloring, I wouldn't recommend as areas quite as large as this. And I would do little circle bits at a time. I wouldn't try to cover big area quickly. You do want to work kind of quick. You want your ink to be wet when you run the pen over it, at least a little, just for blending purposes. Gotta squeeze some more on my test pad. Oh, let's bring this in. We can bring in the purple, and then we're kind of blending them together. You have to kind of go downward if you want to bring that border in. Ooh, this is nice. Was that wet still? Nope, it dried. I'm kind of just bringing this on in. Wait until you see this picture I just finished, you guys, by oh, who was it? Was it Rena Art? Oh my god, it was so gorgeous. It was like a 1940s vintage portrait, and I used the glitter markers on it, and she has like the hairnet over her face and stuff. It's so pretty. I can give you a sneak peek, but I'm going to be showing that on September 1st with my stuff I colored in August video. I still have to do the background, so it's almost done, but not quite. I have it sitting right here. I keep looking at it. There. That looks pretty. So I'm happy. I like this. I like these pens, to me, are working great for dry coloring and for water coloring, and I think they're fantastic. I really do. Where's my picture? I want to show. Oh, it's sliding off. Sliding off. Where are you? Oh, it just fell back. I was trying to show you something. I have like a pile of almost completed pictures, like a reminder pile to get to finish. Yeah, here it is. Who wants to see my sneak peek? My sneakers, the glitter, little hint. Not going to show you it all, but it's really pretty. Okay. All right. So here's that flower we just did up here. Here's the one we did here. Again, these are the Bruynzeel set. I'll try to paste the link down below. I'm not sure I'm putting in my links when I do that correctly, because it's putting in the whole web address, not just like a quick link. So I don't know if you guys can actually click it, or if when you go down there you have to cut and paste it. So maybe someone can let me know, because on my end it just looks like it's a web code. Thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. You can find this set on HSN. You can get them on either 3 to 4 or 5 easy pays. You don't need the credit card, which are like $6 or $7 for an easy pay over a few easy pays. And you can return them, even if they're open and tried within 30 days. That's why I like HSN. Okay, thanks again, and see you in another video.